Hey mamas, one of the biggest worries that women face when they're breastfeeding is the question, am I making enough milk for my baby? And while the answer to that question is most of the time yes, sometimes there are challenges in producing enough milk. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you tips on how to increase your milk supply. If you've been to my channel before, I'm so glad that you're back for some more videos, but if you're new, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. I'm Bridget and I'm a doula in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I love helping moms love their birth. So being a breastfeeding mom myself and also working with lots of different breastfeeding moms, I know that there's a big worry of whether or not you are producing enough milk to feed your baby. I've been there before. And yes, normally you are producing enough milk, and you'll be able to know whether or not you're making enough milk by signs that baby is giving you. So at the beginning, some good signs that you are giving your baby enough milk is, if you're nursing about 8 to 12 times in a 24-hour period. That way you know that you're feeding baby often enough to be producing a lot of milk, and nursing them often enough so that they are removing the milk that signals the breast to be making more. When breastfeeding is comfortable for the majority of that nursing session, it's also another good indicator that baby is getting enough milk. If you're hearing swallowing sounds when baby is drinking, it's a good sign that they're getting milk out of your breast. However, if you hear them clicking, like that's a sign that baby's not latched on super well. And so, if you hear those swallowing sounds, that's great. If you're hearing clicking sounds and feeling a little bit of pain, that might mean that baby's latch is not very good, which may mean that they're not getting enough milk. So when baby unlatches, if your nipple looks like the same as how it normally does, then that's a good indicator too that baby has a good latch and is able to remove adequate amounts of breast milk from your breast. However, if they become unlatched and you notice that your nipple is white, like they've been, sucking too hard or oddly at it, or if it's pinched or squashed or, it just doesn't look the way that it normally does, that could indicate that baby has a poor latch, and you might need to work on that because they might not be removing a whole lot of milk from the breast if they have a poor latch. I do have a video coming up on how to get baby on your breast with a really good latch that's going to set you up for a successful breastfeeding experience, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Other good evidence to show that you are making enough milk for baby and that they are healthy and strong from your breast milk is if, they're wetting a lot of diapers, if they are pooping frequently, if they are gaining a lot of weight since their birth, then those are all good indications that you are making enough milk for them. You want their pee to be, a light color. If it's starting to turn really dark yellow or brownish, that could mean they're dehydrated and might not be getting enough milk, and so that's a sign to be looking for if you are worried that baby's not getting enough milk. So those are all signs that baby is getting enough milk. But if you are still concerned, or maybe you're hoping to, increase your supply so that you can start pumping and stashing while you're still exclusively breastfeeding, or maybe you started pumping and you've noticed a decrease in your supply, I'm going to be sharing with you guys right now about lots of different ways that you can increase your breast milk. Before we get started though, I do want to mention something really fast. If you are exclusively breastfeeding so far and then are trying to implement pumping sessions and you're trying to gauge how much milk your baby is getting through a pumping session, know that your baby is able to remove milk a lot more effectively than a pump does. And so maybe you're only getting half an ounce in your pump. Know that baby is usually way better at getting milk out, and so is definitely getting a lot more than what your pump is saying. So the number one thing that you can do to encourage an abundant milk supply is to de-stress your life. Stress has a huge impact on your milk supply, and so whether that's external stressors or if it's, stressors specifically related to breastfeeding, that's going to have a direct impact on your supply. And so, I know it's easy to say don't stress, everything's going to be okay, and still in your mind you're like, oh my gosh, I'm stressing out. I have a couple ways for you guys to be able to start de-stressing and really trusting your body to know what to do. So the first thing that you can do to de-stress, if it's, your life that is stressful, find things that are going to help you, remove that stress. If it's going on walks, or working out more, or eating healthier, or, talking to your friends about things that are going on. Do things that are going to make you feel more at ease, or things that are going to help solve the problem that's maybe causing you stress. If breastfeeding is the cause of your stress, I want you to practice affirmations. So affirmations is when you are telling yourself or seeing things that really affirm what you're doing and your ability to do them. So I talk a lot about affirmations in birth, but they work really well for breastfeeding as well. And an example of an affirmation would be, I trust my body to produce milk that is going to nourish and help grow my baby. So take different affirmations that maybe you come up with or you find online, or use the one that I just gave you and put them on your mirror, put them in your nursery, put them anywhere that you're going to be breastfeeding, so that you see those and you're constantly telling yourself that, you trust yourself, you trust your baby, that you are, excited for this bonding experience to have with your baby. And your mind will trick your body into being able to de-stress and really trust the process of breastfeeding. The other way to remove stress from your life is just positive thinking. And so you can do that in, other areas if it's not just with breastfeeding that you're stressed out about, or if it is just about breastfeeding that you're stressed out about, try to have positive thinking. So it goes beyond affirmations, affirmations will really help with this positive thinking. But instead of, dreading and thinking about your breastfeeding experience, or the next time you have to nurse, in a negative light, tell yourself like, oh, I get to do this, not like I have to do this. Or talk to yourself about all the things you love about your baby, or have your partner be telling you things that they appreciate about you, and all of those things are going to help you change your frame of mind and have a positive thinking, whether it's in life or with breastfeeding specifically. The second thing that you can do to increase your milk supply is to spend a lot of time skin to skin with your baby. So when they are newborns, that's always encouraged at the beginning, because sometimes baby doesn't always want to latch right away after they've been born. So nurses or doctors will say, just spend a lot of time skin to skin, and that's just going to promote that, really deep, special bonding that's going to help with breastfeeding. However, this can also stretch beyond that newborn stage to maybe 3 months or 6 months or 9 months, or, maybe they're having a growth spurt at, 5 months, whatever stage of life that they're in. If you feel like you have had like a decrease in your milk supply, having skin to skin that's not forced for feeding is going to really help with your breast milk supply. So you can do this skin to skin time in the bathtub or the shower, or you can just be laying in bed in the morning and having them close to you. And so it's not necessarily a feeding time that you have to be skin to skin, but just a non-stressful, non-feeding time too, that is going to help promote this like supply of breast milk. The third tip that I have for you that's going to help with your milk supply is to drink plenty of water. So once you've drank 2 cups of water, go back to the kitchen and drink another cup of water. And when you're done with that, go get some more water. Your breast milk is comprised of 98% water. And so if you are dehydrated, if your body's not getting enough water for itself, it's not going to be able to make breast milk for your baby. Along with water, the fourth tip that I have for you is to make sure that you are eating healthy foods, so that your body is getting fueled with the right things, so that it can, be taking care of itself, and then it can take care of your baby. If you are not fueling your body with the right things, it's not going to have enough fuel to fuel your baby. So what kind of foods should you be eating in order for your body to be making plenty of milk? The first thing that you can be eating are healthy carbs. And so those are going to give you that immediate energy that you need to make it through that nursing session, but it's also going to be really fueling your baby through your breast milk. Sweet potatoes are a great healthy carb that you can eat. They are chock full of beta carotene that is really good with helping increase your milk supply. So beets and carrots are also full of that beta carotene, so eating lots of those can be good. Quinoa, oatmeal is really good as a healthy carb and can also increase your milk supply. So just sticking to whole grains and healthy fruits and veggies as you are thinking about what healthy carbs to be eating. And then, of course, you need to be eating plenty of protein from chicken, from red meat, from fish, things that are going to really help feed and fuel your body so that, your body can also give attention and nourishment to your baby through your breast milk. Having good, healthy fats like from coconut oil or avocados, or healthy olive oil that you're cooking with. Good fats and not those like fast food fats that you're going to get, because those don't help your body, but good fats are going to help fuel your body. And then some other foods that can help boost your milk output are like lactation cookies that you can buy. So you can buy the mix, or you can buy the cookies already made. And I will throw some of the links for those down below. So make sure you check those out. But then also brewer's yeast, you can put those, or you can put that in a lot of different lactation cookies if you want to make your own. And that's just really good with boosting your supply as well. If you would like to know more about food and diet during your postpartum period and how you can set yourself up for a successful breastfeeding experience through your diet, make sure you check out this video up here that I'm linking. It's a good one on helping you understand how to fuel your body during that postpartum period. So the fifth tip that I have for you is to nurse or pump often. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the misconception that like, oh, I'll just, save this breast milk for the next feeding, so I'll have twice as much. That isn't the case. That might be the case for 1 or 2 feedings, but after that, you've told your body that you don't need to produce as much because baby's not sucking that out, or you're not pumping that milk out. Either way, it's not being expressed out of the breast, and so your body is reading, okay, we don't need to make as much. So that might work for a couple feedings, like I said, but overall, that's not going to help you in the long run. You are going to want to make sure you are pumping or nursing at least every 2 to 4 hours, depending on the age of your baby, to make sure that you are expressing enough milk so your body is being signaled to make more milk. If you are saying, but Bridget, my baby is sleeping through the night, so what do I do about pumping in the middle of the night? So at the beginning, if baby starts sleeping longer stretches, maybe you have to get up to pump in the middle of the night, but maybe you're thinking, I don't want to keep doing that. So what I recommend doing in order to, keep your milk supply up, at least at the beginning, is to pump before you go to bed and then pump in the morning. And if you want to kind of phase those out, you can do that as well as your baby gets a little bit older and isn't as drinking as much. Your body is really adaptable. But again, if you are experiencing a decrease in your milk supply, add in those, that late night pump before you go to bed and that morning pump after baby has eaten or nursed, and that's going to help increase your milk supply. So the sixth tip that I have for you is to try power pumping. Now, if you've been exclusively breastfeeding, you can do this, or if you have been pumping all along and you notice a drop in your supply, you can also do this. So it doesn't matter if you've been nursing or if you've been pumping, you can do this either or. And basically how you power pump is that you pick an hour of your day to devote to pumping. You're going to spend 20 minutes pumping, and then you're going to take a 10-minute break. And remember, while you are pumping, you're going to want to make sure that you're massaging your breast and that you are using compression so that you have a more effective expression of milk. And if you want some more tips on how to use a pump, I will link this video up above here, and you should definitely check that out. But back to power pumping. So you're going to pump for 20 minutes, rest for 10. Then you're going to go back to pumping for 10 minutes, rest for 10. And then after that 10 minutes of rest, you're going to pump for 10 minutes and then you're done. And basically what that's stimulating is it's stimulating a situation where baby is cluster feeding, which we often experience when a baby's going through a growth spurt or when they're newborns. And basically it's just telling your body like, oh my gosh, baby needs a lot more milk than we're giving them, and so we are going to produce a lot more. Some women only need to do this for one day, and the next day they notice an increase in their supply. Other women will do this for a week, so an hour each day of the week, and they'll notice that their milk is really picking up. So you kind of have to gauge your own body and decide to do whatever works for you. And the seventh tip that I have for you to help increase your milk supply is to use herbs that are found in supplements or teas. So a big one that you might have heard of before is fenugreek, and fenugreek is really great for most women in helping increase their milk supply, but it has been shown that some women do not respond well to fenugreek, and actually drops their supply even more. So, you know, like I said, for most women, fenugreek works fine. It works really well, but if you're noticing like, hey, my supply seems to be going down even more, it's not really helping, then I would recommend stopping using fenugreek. Some other ones are moringa, nettle, fennel, goat's root, and goat's root is actually really cool because it has been shown to actually like grow mammary tissue, which means, you know, like women who have maybe had breast reductions and some of that mammary tissue has been taken out, and so not a whole lot of milk is able to be produced, that can actually grow mammary tissue, not, you know, a ton, but it can help with increasing your milk supply if you know, are in that kind of circumstance. So most of these herbs that I have mentioned are found in teas. One that I really like is Mother's Tea. I think it's by Traditional Medicinal, so I hope that's right. But I will link the one down below that I really like, so you can check that out. But if you're looking for a stronger, more potent, you know, way of getting those herbs, I really recommend taking Legendary Milk supplements, and I will link them down below. They're like gold. I really believe in their products. And then the other one is Majka, and I will link that down below as well. They have great supplements that help thousands of women to produce and increase their milk supply. So I hope if you are feeling doubtful or worrisome over the supply that you have, and if you're able to feed your baby, first thing that I want to encourage you is, mama, trust yourself and trust your baby. Through trusting yourself, through giving you those affirmations and those positive thoughts, I really do believe it's going to, you know, help provide a good experience for breastfeeding. And if you are still worried and still uncertain after that, then try some of these tips. I really think that they're going to help you. If you have any questions, please comment them below. I would love to hear back from you guys. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, mamas.